Welcome to Degenerate Boomer, and I have my co-host.
Hello, welcome to Degenerate Boomer. I'm excited to be here. Let's go.
Yes, let's go. So it's me and Sheri, and our guest is my good buddy Greg Owens, stand-up comedian extraordinaire. Hits the road with me and him go, do a lot together. So it's like the old folks. What do we need to call our tour, Greg?
I started, I have my first production company was called High Mileage Comedy.
Yeah.
So we could
High
break that
mileage.
out again.
Yeah.
I produced one show.
Right. I was on it. It was my very first. You were probably one of my very first shows I ever did, Greg, after I started comedy.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because it was right after I won that contest. So I was lucky if I had
5 years ago.
Yeah. So I've known Greg for a while. He's
That's awesome.
one of my absolute favorites, obviously, because our material is kind of hits everybody because we are kind of ridiculous parents and raised a little bit ridiculous, and that's going to be
Say not uptight parents, that's for sure.
That's right. Fun parents.
Yeah,
Fun parents.
Yeah, we're not uptight at all. But like, I always want to try to start this podcast out when we talk to another comedian about how they feel, like the generations, like how it does affect your comedy. Do you see any struggles, Greg?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
I definitely
for sure.
When I found, well, I'm an awkward dude to begin with and super self-conscious, which is why I got into comedy like all comedians.
Amen.
So I'm trying to break into the scene with a bunch of people 20 and 30 years younger than me, feeling like I'm sticking out like a sore thumb at every turn, which I pretty much was. But, the good thing is we've got so much more material to draw from, so much more life experience to draw from than a 22-year-old trying to break into comedy who's doesn't know shit about shit, and he's trying to make stuff sound funny with zero experience. So that's an advantage for sure. But then I also find my wheelhouse is people 40 and over, and none of them have Instagram or TikTok, so I'm not getting any followers. It's like a fucking catch-22, man. So,
yeah.
But that's if anything's been happening for me positively, I've been doing a better job connecting to the younger generations over the last couple of years. So
You have, and it's because your kid material is fucking killer. And you know what I mean? So, talk a little bit. Greg's got 4 kids.
4 kids. God bless you, Greg. God bless you.
Yep. And 2 of them are gay. So he hits everybody.
Well, gay men or gay women?
Men.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So straight girl, 2 gay dudes, and a straight dude.
You hit all the margins on that.
Yeah, right.
But it does give him a lot of like really great material. It does. And anytime that he's doing material about your kids, Greg, like me and you, we got the audience, we got the younger group right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we're kind of ripping on, well, Greg, we're definitely ripping on him, but it's, with love. Like they know, obviously we love him.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But
that's what I'd say to people on, like I say, all my gay jokes are gay kid tested and gay kid approved.
Amen.
So.
No, my favorite bit, Greg, is like, what are your swimmers?
I don't have swimmers. I got synchronized swimmers.
Synchronized swimmers.
He is a gay baby making machine.
That's right.
He's out there bringing up our population for us.
Exactly. Like my mom told me when I was young, like all mothers of boomers did, said, don't worry, you're going to find something you're really good at one day. Boom, right. Gay baby making.
Right.
Yeah,
that's good though.
Yeah, no, it is. And have you ever had any worried about getting like, with this whole cancel culture going on, which I think is fading away right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I mean, in general, I'm not a very offensive dude. You know what I mean? I'm pretty, I don't go out of my way to not be hurtful or anything like that. It's just, I don't know, not to toot my own horn, but it's just kind of in my nature to be compassionate and, thoughtful of others. I don't think, I don't think anybody that's gotten canceled really deserved it anyway.
Right.
Like that, what's his name? Kevin Hart, when he got canceled from the Oscars, I saw that gay routine about breaking the kid's dollhouse and stuff because he didn't want his kid to be gay.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was that funny. I was like, it's kind of shitty, man, to talk like that. So I didn't laugh at it, but I didn't care either. I wasn't like, I didn't want to dime the guy in or make him get canceled or anything.
I mean, it was also 10 years old too. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Maybe his perceptions have changed over the last decade as well too.
I mean, I saw it like years before. I remember because it did strike me. I was like, I don't think that's that funny, but I moved on from it.
Yeah.
So I think
I don't think I ever heard the bit.
Yeah, I can't remember it exactly, but it's something like he caught his
right.
son playing with a dollhouse.
Yep.
He smashed the dollhouse because he didn't want his son to be gay or something.
Yeah.
It was many years ago. And I mean, I guess it could have been fun. He could have probably made it funny. It sounds like it was kind of like, didn't really have a good punch to it. Like there's probably a way you could.
It sounded
he probably
hurtful.
Did the routine more than once. Maybe I caught it on a bad night, but it was a special. It was on, what I mean?
Really?
Yeah.
It was HBO or Netflix or something.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like now we don't have to be as nervous as, because I will say some shit.
Me too, girl.
It's not appropriate.
Too. Yeah.
After, but then I'm like, sometimes I have to be told, like, well, Cindy, like, this is why. But I feel like I've learned all of that now as an old boomer.
Right.
And, but I feel like it's definitely not as,
I mean, I think the thing that could bring me down if somebody decided they had to bring me down was that I say broad, I say chick, I say all the
me too. Sorry.
The things you're not supposed to say. I don't know. I don't think they're horrible things to say.
As
Sorry, guys.
I guess as female.
I'm gonna put her in the room. Hold on. Put her in the room.
I guess
that's the way to treat your kid, Sheri.
Yeah, you know what? Like her parenting skill, I'm really impressed.
I gotta go lock the door. Did you watch that Netflix documentary, Hatchet Wielding Hitchhiker?
No.
Oh my God! Remember this kid that was a viral video about 10 years ago?
Yeah.
That he saved the guy was attacking somebody on the side of the street, so he smacked him with his hatchet to save the day.
No.
You'll recognize it if you go watch that documentary. But anyway, that kid got locked in his bedroom like for hours and hours and hours a day when he was young. Yeah.
So I did see, I was scrolling along and I saw that it was a documentary, and I believe it was probably on what's trending, but I didn't know the whole full story.
Yeah. I remembered it when I saw the kid. He got interviewed by the news guy and he was like this character and everybody like fell in love with him and he went viral.
Did he have a bad parent?
Yeah. His mom used to lock him in his bedroom hours at a time. So it didn't turn out well.
It didn't turn out.
I don't want to have no spoilers, but
all right. I'm going to have to watch that now that you told me about it. I'm definitely going to have to watch. But yeah, so that I told everybody to pick a couple stories about shit that we did when we were young or shit we got away with, whatever, just something that isn't gonna fly now, right? Because our subject is parenting and how we were parented and how we parent now, blah, blah, blah. Right. We just got a small preview of how Sheri parents. And locks them in the room. So I'm feeling like
Absolutely.
there might be a documentary coming someday about Sheri's child.
I locked them in the closet. They're going to stay in the closet. Okay.
That's your next hatchet wielding hitchhikers, man.
That's it. That's the next hatchet wielding hitchhiker. Sheri is single-handedly raising that in her home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But only build the best.
So you know what, Greg, you are our guest. So you please give us a story.
Yeah, let us rip. Let us hear some stories.
Well, you want here's how my mom disciplined me. 1960s discipline.
Nice.
I'm outside playing in the neighbor's house across the street. We're all out in the driveway. There's probably like 8-10 kids. And you know, my mom yells from across the street from the porch, it's time to come home. And I'm like, I'm not coming home. She's like, you got to come home now. I'm like, I don't want to come home. We're having too much fun. She's like, don't make me come over there and bring you home. And I'm like, come on, bring it.
Egging her on. Yeah.
Sure enough, she did. And so there I am in front of 10 of my friends. All the neighbors are out raking leaves or playing in their yards, walking dogs and stuff. And my mom thinks nothing of it. She grabs me by my ear, like by my earlobe, yanks me down to like waist level, like I'm bent over at my waist. And she just drags me all the way home, squeezing the shit out of my ear. And I'm screaming like, okay, I'm coming, cut it out, stop.
I submit.
Too late now, motherfucker. She didn't say motherfucker because she never swore. But she just dragged my ass the whole way home and into that house, man. Everybody just like, everybody in the neighborhood just turned and watched. And it was like, that's Rhodey Owens taking care of business. My mom's name was Rhodey. That's Rhodey Owens taking care of business.
Good old Rhodey Owens.
And everybody goes back to what they were doing. No one's calling, child support services or whatever. No one's calling the cops. No one gives a shit. Greg Owens got what he deserved. The punk ass motherfucker didn't listen to his mom. So she ripped his fucking ear off.
Yeah, you were talking that shit, so she showed you.
Huh?
Was Rhodey abroad?
Rhodey was abroad, man.
He was abroad.
Rhodey, he was a 2 packs of Terryton a day.
Yeah.
Manhattan drinking all through the pregnancies.
Yeah.
Not slowing down a bit, man.
Same. The best kind of mothers right there, man.
That's how
Oh
they
my
did
God. True, right? We can just get into that really quick. My mother, I think she might have said she was too sick to drink with me.
Oh, okay.
The doctor gave her Black Beauties though, so speed, so she didn't gain weight.
Oh, I thought that was Quaaludes. Okay,
well,
so
yeah,
speed.
Isn't that black?
Might be the same thing.
Yeah, I think
know.
it is. Like they were called Black something. Yeah. So she took those so she didn't gain weight. I mean, when they're smoking, she's smoking.
She's pregnant.
She took that because they didn't want them to gain weight. She didn't want to gain weight.
But she's pregnant. She's supposed to gain weight.
You wonder why some of us kids are fucked up.
Right?
They did some shit. And I don't know what she did with my brother, but he's mad fucked up.
Same with my brother. Yeah.
Like
I feel you on that.
Like the attention deficit off the fucking chain,
Right.
Way worse than mine.
Tripled.
Way worse than mine. So whatever they did, I mean, but I think, I think I'm missing some brain cells, but that's because they let me do some shit when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Greg, the only time Rhodey whipped your ass?
Well, I got it a few times, but that was a classic right there, man. That's one that just stuck out in my head,
Right.
The one you tell the therapist about, you know what I mean? Which I never
traumatized.
I never go to a therapist, but if
I was gonna say,
huh?
That's one thing we didn't do much of was therapy. Like,
oh yeah, no,
that wasn't, that shit was like you gotta go to that. I never even heard that word until I was grown.
Yeah, I got a buddy of mine used to go to a counselor. They were called counselors back in the day.
Right.
He'd have to go see his counselor. We ripped on him. Holy shit, did we pick on him? To go to a counselor because that's how good of people we were.
Right, or they were completely crazy.
Yeah. I sold paint for a living, never getting off the bottom rung of the corporate ladder, and he became a VP at Hewlett Packard. So I don't know.
Wow. Therapy worked for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a couple of those lessons would have gotten you, owning that paint shop.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but yeah. So Sheri, what do you got for a story? We're just gonna go around the room here. This is like fucking story time. Degenerate story time.
Oh yeah, absolute degenerate. The first time I stole something from a store, I was about 7 or 8, and it was a comb, but it was disguised as like a switchblade knife. You know, like you would flip it open and it turned into a comb.
Yeah.
I wanted that so bad, and my mom and dad were like, "You're not getting that. It looks like a knife." I'm like, "But it's a comb." So I steal it, and they caught me stealing it in like the action of it. And my mom grabbed my hair, pulled me to the ground, and dragged me through the whole store, made me give it to the manager and tell the manager that I was going to steal it. So I remember that. And then my dad whooped my ass with a belt when I got home. So that was to me, that sticks out. But I went back and stole it a day later. So
no,
I got it
you
anyway.
did not. You got that bitch, didn't you?
Still got it.
Don't even fuck with me. You know who I am?
I did
Sheri?
get it.
That's resilience, man. That's determination.
That's one thing about us. Those, right? See, Sheri covers the millennial and the Gen X.
Gen X, yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
So that's the determination.
Yes.
Of the Gen X generation. She was gonna get that comb.
Exactly. Gonna get that
last
knife
day.
comb.
Whip my ass and see what happens.
Right.
Maybe I'm gonna take 2.
I should have. Give one to my friend.
You know, I'm trying to think. Oh, all right. All right. Well, since we're doing with the ass whipping, let me tell you.
Yeah, what about you?
Let me
Yeah,
tell you
give me
what
a
Big
story.
Ricky used to do. Okay. My mother didn't play.
Right.
Children in the neighborhood saw Ricky, they would hide. Okay. Like,
oh,
right. But my mother was a beautiful woman.
Okay.
Beautiful one, model, gorgeous. And all the boys wanted to hang out at my house because they wanted to look at my mother. You know what I mean? It was
oh yeah, eye candy all day.
Yeah, all day. But my mother also didn't take no shit. Okay.
Right.
And this is how she would, you know, single mother at the time, you know, it was, you know, she was single mother in the early 70s, and it was not many, you know, not many back then. So, you know, we would have paneling in our kitchen. You remember that paneling from the 70s?
The wood.
You know what I mean? But it was on the kitchen walls.
Okay.
And we had little half moon dents in the paneling behind the kitchen table. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, when you would dent that paneling and that little dent would become
it would bump into
brown.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you want to know how we got those dents? We shut our mouth off, and Ricky would grab a Campbell soup can and throw it, and we would move quick, and that shit would dent the wall. That's right, the corner of the can, little half moon dents in the kitchen wall. And people would come over, and you could count how many times we almost died by looking at the dents in their wall. Ricky did not play.
Dodging concussions.
That's one ass beating that I missed on those. But I'll tell you, the one she got me good. She came home from one day with groceries. In our hallway, when you walked, it was one of those little city houses. It had the basement stairs, like right when you would walk in the door. Remember, you know, you would go straight down your stairs.
Yep.
She came home with a bag of groceries. I must have shot my mouth off real good. She pulled a frozen lobster tail out of that brown paper bag. She hit me over the head. I tumbled down every one of those basement stairs. And you know what my first thought was when I hit the bottom of them stairs? My first thought was, you almost killed me. My first thought was, how the fuck we afford a lobster tail? Okay.
Lobster for dinner.
Where'd you get that money?
I didn't get that lobster. She never even let us have one treat. And I'm like, bitch, we're drinking water. And you pulling out a lobster tail for a weapon? Yes. That's my second story about my ass beaten.
Lobster, man.
Lobster,
she got you. She got you. That lobster, baby.
And all I kept thinking is, was that a lobster tail, bitch? I'm like, who's gonna eat that?
Can I get some of that?
We were, I mean, a treat for me was a TV dinner.
Yeah. Hungry man special.
Yeah, there you go. There's no way my parents would have shared lobster tail with the kids, man.
No, but she shared it on my head real good, Greg. Taught me a lesson to shoot my mouth off.
Oh no, the shells are pretty hard on that too. So I'm sure
man, it was ice
on your head.
And frozen, and I got it right to the So that's one time I probably lost some brain cells,
That's okay.
you know? But how many times did you ever eat it at the playground when you were a kid? Like brutal.
Oh yeah.
Those playgrounds were like
Death traps.
Torture yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the slide. It was so hot when you would slide down. Sometimes it would just skin your fucking, you feel like your skin was just peeling off when you slid down the slide, you know, just your skin was going
Right.
coming right off, man.
You guys remember the twirly bird? You know that one you would sit on and they would run and spin you and you had to hang on for dear life?
Okay, yeah. Merry-go-round.
It's the puke machine.
I don't, Sheri, they may have removed those before.
I remember merry-go-rounds.
No, this is in the playground. It was steel and it had these things you hung on to, like these big. See, I think they had removed them.
They probably did. So many kids probably got concussions, broken bones.
And that's what happened to me.
Teeth missing.
Yep.
The big diamond plate disc.
Yes.
On it with like handrails mounted every like 2 or 3 feet around it, like pie shaped. And then it was on a pole in the middle and just spin like a. And
like somebody would run real fast, round and round, and then let you go and then jump.
Oh wow!
I'm telling you, you would hang on for dear life, but if you flew off it,
you were done.
Like a catapult, man. That shit threw you. And that's when I got my I think my second or third concussion.
Oh.
Flying off of that.
I could see that.
At a family picnic.
Cookout, yeah.
Bleeding from the head, because no matter how small your cut, your head bleeds.
Oh, it bleeds profusely, yeah.
And I remember my head was bleeding, and I went back to the, what pavilion, right?
Yep.
You know how you'd have in
the cookout and that little thing,
right?
Yeah.
And I remember I was like sick. I was like ready to throw up because I had hit my head so hard, right?
Yeah, that's a concussion.
And they were all just smoking and drinking.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
Stay off the twirly bird.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Walk it off, kids. Walk it
off of that.
I could have took a nap and never woke up. Nobody cared.
No.
That was
it. You gotta brush it off, man.
That's right. You ever get a good injury when you were a kid, Greg?
Yeah, we did it at my buddy's house. He had one of those old metal swing sets, that when you would swing real hard, it would start the whole thing would start tipping over.
Oh yeah, it'd start coming up out of the ground.
But yeah. But it was
rocket ship in flight.
What happened. We were playing Army, right? And my buddy we were using golf clubs as guns, right?
Awesome.
Yeah, because so we're playing Army, and I'm on the teeter-totter part of the swing set.
Teeter-totter.
I love
the thing that would just slid back and forth like
and if one of those bolts got you, it was a gouge.
Well, no, he's climbing up the ladder, my buddy, right? Climbing up the ladder with his 9-iron. M1 carabine. And he's got it stuck out to the side, and I come by with this teeter-totter, and it goes right in the mouth, right in the teeth. I go flying off the teeter-totter, and
right
I'm
in the kisser,
man. And I
no.
And I look down, I got the chip of my tooth is in my thumb. I'm like,
in your thumb,
wailing. So, I mean, it doesn't even sound that bad, but so I had a chip, and I go home. My mom, she's like, let me look. And she sees the chip and she's like, well, yeah, you chipped it good. And she's just like, now just do this. Does that hurt when you do that? Does that sting? I'm like, no, it doesn't. Okay, then the root's not exposed.
You're good. We're not going to the ER today.
Yeah, you're good. Like, no, it doesn't sting.
Okay, Mom.
Yeah. No roots. The root's not exposed. You're fine. We're going to leave.
That's true, though.
Thank God you're a boy, because you're going to look stupid with that tooth until you can afford to get it fixed when you're grown.
Never did. No, I didn't. Man, I got a mouth only a mother could love. The teeth are so spread apart. Don't worry. His teeth will grow in as he gets older. You don't have to spend the money on braces.
Right.
So they weren't spending that money, man.
Hey, I got one thing I'm grateful is that my parents spent the money on braces, because
Same.
I tell you, I had some jacked up. I mean, the number of teeth they had to remove because I had too many.
You had extra
growing on top of teeth.
Oh,
I mean, oh my God! And I had and
must have been them Quaaludes that she was taking to give you some extra teeth,
right? It just took the enamel off that shit.
And fucking black beauties, and black beauties.
What? Too much vodka will fuck up those teeth. They'll cost you in the long run.
Yeah.
But. And back then, Sheri, you had to wear your braces for years. It's not like now.
I wore mine for 4 years.
4.
So,
All right, that was. I think
I had an
saw-
overbite, an over a buck tooth motherfucker.
Yeah. But hey,
They're
I'm
like-
grateful that they spent that, because I would have
Same.
been spending all my money when I was growing on the.
Oh,
on
yeah.
glasses, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because
Yeah.
I could not be out in society looking the way I look. No,
Now you
for
get
real.
used to it. I don't, doesn't bother me anymore.
You're a man. You don't
Never-
care.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not supposed to have nice teeth, I guess.
Yeah.
It makes you rugged, it gives you character, makes you
You
rugged.
got that
so.
David Letterman gap
Got
in
that
your
little
teeth.
gap. Yeah.
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 But that's attractive. I like that gap, No, seriously, it can be attractive to people. The gap.
So
Mhm.
the gap is a good thing. So Sheri, you got another story? Because boy,
Oh boy. Just, I mean, I used to get my ass beat a lot with a belt. My dad would
belt
threaten
was
me
their
first with the,
go-to.
yes, would make that sound first. It was like a warning shot, and then I knew what was up, But I remember he was watching the Eagles game or Phillies game, and my mom had baked a cake, and she said, "Do not eat it until I get home." And it was sitting on top of the stove, nice and warm, and it was chocolate, my favorite kind. Betty Crocker or some shit, nothing special, but to me, it was heaven, And I'm trying to reach up there to grab it, on the stove, and I can't get it. So I'm like, oh, he's distracted. He's drinking a beer, watching the Eagles game. Fuck it. I go down to the cellar and I get a step ladder, pop it open, climb up the step ladder, and just devour just chunks of cake just in my mouth. He comes in to get another beer, sees me doing it, turns around. And that's when he took off his belt and just whooped the shit out of me. But I didn't care. I took the beating because that chocolate cake was worth it, man. Worth it.
Were you full of like cake? You must have
Yeah.
had, like, cake.
Yeah, I had cake all in my teeth, all over my mouth. Like I don't know who I was even gonna blame it on. I'm probably gonna blame it on my brother. I don't even know. We didn't have a dog, so I couldn't blame it on the dog. But yeah, I remember that. That was an ass whooping, man, because I've destroyed the cake essentially. But it was all worth it, baby. Let me tell you, it's nice and warm too. I just took those stingers, sting.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get like, we used to just get shit thrown at us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I mean, I remember, more of that, but we were we were scared. My mother scared me. I knew that, I mean, there was only so much ducking, and I was like Muhammad Ali, float like
duking,
like a bee, trying to get away from the shit she was throwing, But I'm going to tell you this story. This is a perfect example.
Yeah, let me hear it.
What would never in a million years fly.
Oh yeah,
now.
So
In
much.
fact, this is some crazy shit. Okay. So we used to, I grew up in the city, and, the houses were very tight together, and it had the street lights, the
Right.
old concrete style street lights.
Mhm.
And there was a lot, you know what I mean? A lot of street lights. So we would be out there at night playing, and, because I wasn't like, come home and the street lights are on. They didn't give a fuck, right?
Right.
So no, it was like, don't fuck.
Not my mama.
Bitch. I don't care when them lights come on. It's
Stay
just
the
more
fuck out.
light for you to play.
Right.
So more light for you to play. So I remember I had to have been maybe 12, or 13, if I was still out when the lights were on. And there was this one street light, like not too far from my house. And this man would walk up to that street light with this long trench coat. Like as soon as it got dusk and the light went on, and he would open up that trench coat and butt naked start jerking off in front of us girls.
Oh,
like we would be like riding our butt. My remember my, the little stingray with the banana seat.
The banana seat, that
right?
long
with the
banana
wheelie bar. Because
Yep.
maybe I was doing some wheelies. I don't know.
Right. Tassels hanging off the
man
side.
is jerking off with a trench coat. Now we're all like, we'd say, I went home. I said, Mom, this guy, we saw everything. I saw it all. You know what she said? She didn't say calling 911. You know what she said? Don't go near that street light.
You got the wrong street light, baby.
Don't ride your bike past that street light. Now get out there and play, and don't you worry. Just stay away from that street light.
Yeah, that's the rated X street light. Okay, that's the adult street light.
Could you imagine that happening now?
Oh God, no. They would get him arrested. Once I heard trench coat, I knew where you were going. No. Once I heard your man in a trench coat, I was like, oh, he's going to show his weenie.
They could flashers.
Flasher,
I'm talking, this was probably the early 70s.
Okay.
You know, and at that time, I remember when people would run naked through, what would they used to call that?
Streakers.
Streaking.
Streakers.
Yeah.
And remember like how
Streaking.
popular streak, they even had a song. Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
call it the streak in the 70s.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
guess like nobody gave a fuck.
No.
But this man was opening it up and showing it. And she
Ring a
stayed
ding
away.
ding ding dong. You know.
We stayed away from that street like Greg. That was how my mother dealt with
That's
it.
all you gotta do, man.
That's crazy, right, Greg?
I don't know.
What would Rhodey have done?
Yeah, he came home.
Yeah, I don't know, man. She might have raised a little hell about that. She, you know, I remember one time when we were in kindergarten, and there was me and these two girls that were in kindergarten. We were like the last stop at the bus stop coming home from, I guess it was morning kindergarten or something. So it was the middle of the day, and the guy drops us off at the wrong place. He forgot to stop at our bus stop.
Oh no.
And I said, hey man, you forgot to stop at our bus stop. So he drops us off. I said, don't sweat it. I know where we are. I can get us home. So we get off the bus. These girls are losing their shit because they don't know where they are.
Oh, they're scared.
But I'm cool. I'm the hero, 6-year-old, 5-year-old hero.
Oh, we need a
So
hero.
I walk them home, get them home. I go to my house, tell my mom what happened, and she loses her shit.
Oh,
She called the school up that, my kindergarten teacher said the bus driver fucking forgot to drop him off. And then the teacher called the bus depot. I don't know if the guy got in trouble or what, but yeah, my mom, she would, she'd take care of me when it was the right time. So
yeah, she didn't play. Sounds like Rhodey didn't play, man. Yeah.
I mean, she didn't, let me fuck around, but she wouldn't let anybody fuck around with me either.
Yeah, that's Mama Bear, honey. Yeah. Not messing with her cubs. That's right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Sheri, you got another one? What happened?
Oh man, there's so many. There's so many. What's another one? Like you said, objects. Okay.
Mhm.
How your mom used to throw objects at you. So my dad has like objects all around the house just in case someone breaks in, like he has a bat when you walk in the door, and then he has like a pipe on the other side, or another pipe underneath the couch or whatever. I snuck out of the house one night. I was about 14 or 15, through the side window in the living room, and I sneak back in, and I guess my dad didn't know it was me, so he grabbed a pipe. He grabbed the pipe from underneath the couch and just flung it at my head. And I tell you, when I had those juking reflexes, that left-right reflexes, thank God, because it went right over my head and then broke the window.
No.
So yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
And he blamed me for it. He was like, "We shouldn't be breaking in my own fucking house," I'm like, well, you could have murdered me with the pipe, Dad.
It's clearly your fault.
Yeah, it was my fault. He's like,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some crazy shit.
We had a 6th grade math teacher that would wing the the erasers, those rectangular board erasers.
Yeah.
He'd whip them at people if you weren't paying attention. He'd just like whip an eraser at your head right in the middle of class.
Do you remember teachers used to be able to hit kids like with a paddle?
Oh,
Do you remember that?
I went to Catholic school.
I got paddled.
You did?
I was the last
I never
year.
did, really?
I was the last year before they stopped it. So I was born in 82, whatever that. If you were born, after 82, you didn't get paddled. But I was the last grade that got paddled. Motherfucker. I beat it by one. I didn't get to beat it by one.
Post-paddle generation.
Post-paddle.
It looked like a pizza scooper, like when you put pizza in an oven,
Yeah.
Yeah. It hurt like hell too, let me tell you.
I bet you were naughty too.
I was bad, yeah.
You were bad.
I used a lot of curse words.
Oh, yeah.
And fighting and yeah.
I mean, we were a product of our environment.
Oh yeah, my parents were boomers, so criminal boomers, you know what I mean? They were wild. Fuck wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah,
right. If I got a ride,
Lucky you got there.
Exactly. I'm here.
Right.
I'll tell you one thing my mother used to do. I don't know if you remember, but it used to snow like hell in the 70s. Don't you feel like we don't get the amount of snow? I mean, we're
Even the 80s,
here. Up here, Sheri, Greg we have Lake Ontario, and so Lake Ontario was like a snow making machine.
You guys could make a literal snow hill out of just like like a sled hill just out of the plow,
Yeah, but
probably when
I
the plow
feel
would
like we
come.
don't get the amount of snow we used to get in the
Global
70s,
warming.
right? And it was those, like I say again, them skinny city houses, and you only had like a small, narrow driveway to pull in between the two
Yeah.
houses.
Yeah.
So when it snowed, there was no plow or nowhere to push that. So we was
Okay.
have to go out and shovel.
Oh,
Me and
yeah.
my
Shoveling.
brother, and she would be out there yelling, shovel, shovel, because she had to get in, right? But we didn't. She was a single mother. There was no man around to do the shoveling, right?
No, the kids had to
And
do
I
it.
remember how much snow there used to be and how cold we used to be. And we used to be crying. It was like abuse, man. And she used to come out with shots of whiskey and forced us to drink them.
Warm
Drink
up.
this, you'll be fine.
It's a heat warmer, baby.
Mommy, I'm thinking I'm a child. And I remember thinking that. And she was like, drink this, keep shoveling, keep shoveling. I have pictures. My mother has pictures of the snow piles so high.
Yeah, that's what I picture in my head. Yeah.
Yeah, like and pushing. And we used to have to drink straight. And I used to cry, I don't want to drink that whiskey.
Right. But it's a heat warmer. Come on. It's a heated blanket.
Right. Warm up
But
your
you know,
insides.
you wouldn't, no parents wouldn't do that, but I'm
inside,
sure she was, she thought it's cold. And
Right.
I don't need you getting frostbite because someone got to shovel this shit.
Right.
Bitch, drink this.
So here's a hottie toddy for my 5-year-old.
I think she thought if we were a little drunk, we wouldn't, obviously we're not going to feel the pain.
It's a hug on the inside,
That's
It's a
it.
hug on the inside, not on the outside.
She hugged me on the inside. That's a good
Exactly. She was hugging you on the inside. In your heart. In your heart.
Oh man, I feel like my stories are really hardcore.
No, same. But how do you parent, Greg? How do you parent? How do you parent? Have you ever hit your kids, or like, do you ground them? Do you say, use your words? How old are they, first off?
Yeah, well, they're all grown up now.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm done. I kind of blurred it all out, really. I mean, I had a couple episodes, the ear pulling thing.
Right.
I tried that myself. I'm like, well, that worked pretty fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah. How did it
when
work?
happened to me. So
Tell me about it.
I'm home with the 3 boys, and the youngest was, I don't know, 6 maybe, and he was giving me grief. He didn't want to go to bed or whatever.
Right.
So I did the earlobe pinch thing and tried to drag him upstairs. And I had all 3 of these dudes on me, like they weren't putting up.
Oh.
They were like,
They were fighting back.
Yeah, they're like, you can't do that to him.
Oh no.
Because it's the shit they're teaching them now in elementary school.
They
How to
fucking with
stand up to
them.
your parents when
Yeah.
they're getting abusive.
Right.
I mean,
Don't
they got
hurt
the
my
phone
brother.
out, no one called anybody.
No.
But they got up in my grill, man. They were like, no, you can't do it like this, Dad. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, those bros were
I felt
loyal.
horrible. I was like, yeah, they're right. They're
That
actually
is
right.
funny though, that those boys,
Huh?
poor Greg, it was like
He's trying to
just trying
discipline
them
in there.
little kids trying to beat his ass.
But,
Like, this is not working out in my favor.
I was like,
Right,
wow,
right.
times have changed. Times
Yeah,
have
and as
Exactly.
those
changed.
boys got bigger, they could all take you.
Yeah,
Right,
right.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. It was so I stayed cool. I was a good parent. I don't
No,
know.
you seem like you would be.
I
a
mean,
good
my
dad.
wife took care of most of it. I pretty much just stayed on
Right.
the sidelines.
Right.
Half the time she'd come swooping in like the savior. I always say she's like the hawk. Come swooping in, like, don't talk to them like that.
Right.
Oh, perch on the table next to me. Don't you talk to them like that.
Yeah.
Attacking me with their fucking talons. But they
Yeah,
all
I
turned
mean-
out good, man.
Exactly.
fucking
They're
awesome
good kids.
so.
They
Yeah.
are. Greg's got great kids, and I'm fortunate. I've got two great kids.
Yeah.
too.
What about you, Cindy? How'd you parent them? Did you hit them or do anything?
I don't know what
Ground
happened.
them
I hit them a couple times, and it
like a
was
spanking or?
yeah, like a spanking. But
Yeah.
for me, it was more like it made me feel better, not to like
Right.
they were like
Right.
they had me so angry. My little one, she was so insubordinate about like the way she would dress and stuff. And like, she
Okay.
didn't like to wake up in the morning. She refused to comb her hair. I mean, my child was 7 and that shit was dreading already because she would not comb that thick black curly hair. She had some dreadlocks starting. I'm like, no, this can't happen. But I remember like I spanked them a couple times, and number one, they didn't care. Okay. They just looked at me like, do it again. And then I thought, man, that hurt my hand, number one. Okay. Like I just like hurt my own hand. And then I remember that when they started hitting each other. So, and then, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I can't, it just made me feel, it was more like me getting out my frustration, right, Greg? Like you grabbing his ear was more for like, you were so frustrated and it kind of made you feel like, I'm just going to fucking shake. And, sad to say, but I see how someone could be shaking those babies.
Oh yeah, I could totally see why that was going on.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big thing for a long time there, the shaken baby syndrome.
Yeah.
But, okay.
It's,
so mad, right?
Yeah, but also too, remember when we were young, people didn't have medication like they do now.
Oh hell no, we are highly dosed.
Right. So imagine these parents that are already so fucking anxious, right? And there's really no rules.
And they're working hard to the bone too.
Rules, that I think a lot of it was them just getting out like, it was a lot
frustration.
Yeah.
Their only medicine was nicotine.
Yeah. That's all. And some whiskey, some hottie toddies. Yeah. That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, but so I didn't hit them after, you know what I mean? I'm like, nah.
Yeah, I don't see you parenting like that. I don't see you like that.
It didn't work anyway, I was really, how I used to get my kids?
Throw a Campbell soup at them.
I used to make them feel bad.
Oh, guilty.
Guilt
trip.
The little passive aggressive business always works.
What'd you say, Greg?
That passive aggressiveness always gets to them.
That's smart.
I would pull that shit with them, right? Like I would say, I expected more from you.
Oh, disappointment. I'm disappointed in you.
I really trusted you and you really hurt me. And they would just start to cry.
Wow, your face right now just made me feel bad. The way you said that.
Start to cry, and I was like, okay.
I won.
But I gotta say, I was very fortunate. I didn't have a lot of like, you need to be home at this time with them.
Right.
Or like if you're out at your friends, I know where you are. You know what I mean? The minute you break my trust, it's going to be a whole different game. But
exactly.
I really remember one time my daughter Alexa, she called me crying. Right? She was probably like 14, 13. And I said, what's wrong? She said, all the other parents are getting kids are getting phone calls or texts from their mother saying to come home. And you didn't send me nothing.
Wow.
Like you're looking for me to tell you to come home?
She wanted discipline. Wow.
She wanted me. They
want discipline, loved her. Man. Kids do. They do.
Yeah, they did. It's love.
Everybody else said, where are you? And I was like, I'm like, I don't know. I didn't text you because I knew you'd come back eventually. Like you're betting your shit is here.
Right. You live here, bitch.
Where do you think you're going to go?
Yeah. You can tell your daughter loves you so much. The one that I met, she loves you so much, man. Yeah.
She's already hitting me up. One of your shows when I come.
She loves you.
She's lonely though. She she always wants to hang out with her mom. That one, my That's little so one, sweet. She works a lot.
Yeah, she's got her own thing going.
So, that's how I parented Greg. I did the whole guilt. And it helped that they were scared of their dad. I would just say their dad's name and shit would change.
I'll call it your father, right?
Yep, old school Italian. He didn't play.
Yeah.
He didn't play. So, yeah. But yeah. So, I mean, we've pretty much covered a lot of, I feel like my childhood was traumatizing. Now, you all stories did not. Come on, you could have given me something worse.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Greg, I love you. You're amazing. Thank you so much for being our second guest.
Yeah, Greg, you're awesome, dude. I like your vibe.
My pleasure.
Yeah, you're funny as hell, too. Like your stories, and you seem like a great overall dude, man. And you raised 2 gay sons, and you seem like a man's man, too.
I didn't know they were gay. Yep. I didn't know they were gay the whole time.
He is.
I actually did.
Yep, that's what I love about Greg is he is a man's man.
You can tell he's an alpha male,
and he raised them 2 gay sons
with love. It seems like,
Yep, Greg is like, whatever, dude.
I congratulate you on that. That is amazing. Yep. We need more men like you, man, for sure.
Definitely need more men like Greg. That I'm gonna say.
What can I tell you? I'm just a dude.
Greg, I appreciate you for doing this with us.
It's my pleasure. It was fun.
It was awesome. So nice to meet you. I hope to meet you in person sometime and see one of your sets, man. I would love to.
Are you in New York City now, Sheri?
Yeah, I've been living in New York for almost 20 years. I've only been doing stand up for less than a year though. But I'm
Oh,
40,
wow.
so I have so many stories, and I'm a baby with stand
Yeah,
up.
cool.
So I'm learning, you
Yeah,
know.
I'm coming
Sherry's
down.
new,
Oh
but she's a
shit, what's the
killer.
date? Okay, I'm coming
Uh,
down. I
okay.
wanted to get down to New York City, so
Yeah, let me know. I definitely want to come to
definitely
one of
tell
your
you.
sets or hang out or grab a
Yeah.
beer or something.
I got to do bringers down there. I don't get, no one books me, so I got.
Well, I'll come to one of your shows. I'll be one of your 5 people
All
for
right.
sure. Yeah, bringers suck,
Cool.
but I had to do it too. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I know.
All right,
Yeah, well.
listen. Thanks a
All right.
lot, Greg. Sheri.
Hell yeah, Degenerate Boomer, baby.
Degenerate
Like,
Boomer.
listen, subscribe, follow, all the
Yeah,
above,
yep.
man.
Yep. Thank you.
Signing off.